John Brennan has been exposed as the man behind the curtain in the entire Robert Mueller investigation. Now, everyone knows at this point that Robert Mueller has not found any evidence of Russian collusion between the Trump campaign and any Russians. What we have found is that Robert Mueller himself was colluding with the Russians because the Christopher Steele dossier was based on a whole lot of information from Russia and from the Kremlin. Russia was actively working against President Trump, and that's why this whole narrative just doesn't make sense. Now, we're going to talk about how this case is going to be finally shut down, because it needs to be shut down, okay? We're going to talk about how John Brennan, the former CIA chief under Obama, was integrally involved in this whole process to try to destroy President Donald Trump. Now, Peter Strzok is a key element in this. Why is that? Because Peter Strzok was actually a CIA agent for 24 years before he switched over to the FBI. He switched over to the FBI because they had all the programs and all the personal identifying information that he needed in their database in order to be able to carry out Operation Crossfire Hurricane in order to take out President Donald Trump. But really, he's a CIA agent, and he was John Brennan's deputy, John Brennan's top right-hand man during this entire process. And even Rudy Giuliani on Hannity just the other night, just last night, said that Peter Strzok was operating under John Brennan. The entire Robert Mueller case was led by John Brennan. So let's talk about John Brennan and let's talk about Peter Strzok so we can be done with this nonsense once and for all, and we can allow our president and commander-in-chief to do what he needs to do for this country in order to free us from globalist tyranny. John Brennan hired Peter Strzok to write the Intelligence Community Assessment, the ICA, in January of 2017, as soon as Trump got into office. This was an official document used to spur on the Robert Mueller investigation. But the document did not actually find any evidence of collusion between Trump and Russia. It merely said that Vladimir Putin aspired to help Trump and that Russia developed a clear preference for Trump. Now, we know that's not true, considering the fact that the Russian government staged pro-Hillary Clinton rallies during the election. We know that Russia was actively working with Christopher Steele in order to shut down Trump. The fact of the matter is that the Russian government was working for Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, who sold the Russians 20% of our uranium. And immediately thereafter, according to news reports out of Israel, they sold that uranium to the Iranians, to Iran. We know that the Russians didn't want Donald Trump to be president. They wanted Hillary Clinton to be president because she was their partner. She was the one selling out the United States. She was the one selling them our uranium. Barack Obama was the one selling them our secrets. Now, let's keep going. Comey sent Peter Strzok to London to meet with the Australians about George Papadopoulos. George Papadopoulos was surveilled in real time by the FBI. Who set him up? Peter Strzok, whose meeting with the Australian ambassador in London provided key basis for the creation of Robert Mueller's investigation, according to none other than the New York Times. Even the New York Times reported that. Now, Peter Strzok, operating under John Brennan, did not only try to screw over Donald Trump, he also tried to clear Hillary Clinton of any criminal wrongdoing. Strzok personally was the one who cleared Hillary Clinton right before he left for London. In July 2017, Strzok was serving on the Mueller team after personally overseeing the Hillary Clinton email investigation at the FBI, and he personally conducted the interview with Hillary Clinton that was not under oath and which led to no incarceration for the Democrat candidate. Strzok also withheld information about the Hillary case from Congress, according to his own text messages. He said, and I quote, in one of his texts to his lover, Lisa Page, he said, "The thing is, there are very inflammatory things in the 302s we didn't turn over to Congress because they weren't relevant to understanding the focus of the investigation that are going to come out in FOIA and absolutely inflame Congress. I'm sure Jim," meaning Jim Jordan, "and Tricia and Dave and Mike are all considering how things like that play out as they talk amongst themselves." Peter Strzok withheld information from Congress even after he was under subpoena. He is a criminal. Just based on this fact alone, he is a criminal. Now, Peter Strzok's wife, who he was cheating on with Lisa Page, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page were sleeping together. Meanwhile, Peter Strzok's wife, Melissa Hodgman, was also involved in this plot. She deleted all of her pro-Obama, pro-Hillary Clinton Facebook posts as soon as this case became relevant. As soon as people started reporting on what Peter Strzok was doing, Melissa Hodgman, an executive at the Securities and Exchange Commission, started deleting all of her pro-Obama, pro-Hillary posts. She liked pages on Facebook including "Thank you, Obama," and "We voted for Hillary." Pretty clear. Now, here's where we really get into a very, very, very big ethical bind. Peter Strzok, in addition to doing all these other things, in addition to going after Trump, in addition to going after everyone on the Trump team, like Carter Page and George Papadopoulos, Peter Strzok also set up General Michael Flynn. And by the way, this happened after the election. This happened after President Donald Trump already got elected to the White House. This Operation Crossfire Hurricane was still going on. On January 24th, 2017, Peter Strzok interviewed General Michael Flynn inside the White House alongside another agent. Flynn's lawyer was not present because he didn't think he had to have a lawyer for this. He thought he was okay. Flynn apparently did not tell the White House about his meeting. You know who did? Sally Yates, the anti-Trump Deputy Attorney General, whose underling told the FBI to shut down the Clinton Foundation case. Sally Yates, a key part of Operation Crossfire Hurricane. She informed the White House on January 26th that Flynn met with the FBI. That was the beginning of the end for the Trump White House. They were brought down by Peter Strzok and Sally Yates working together. Strzok was close personal friends with the FISA judge, Rudolph Contreras. Rudolph Contreras was the one who accepted General Michael Flynn's guilty plea. Contreras recused himself, but he only recused himself in the case after he already accepted General Michael Flynn's guilty plea. Now, this is a July 25th, 2016 series of texts between Strzok and Page, the lovers. Page says Rudy, referring to Rudy Contreras, just appointed 2 months ago. Strzok said, I need to get together with him. Page said, yeah, it said he's gotten on a month or two at a graduation party where we were both at. That means that Lisa Page and Peter Strzok were at a party, at least Lisa Page, at a party with Rudy Contreras on the FISA court, talking to him about Operation Crossfire Hurricane. You know what this means? This is so big. This is so huge. This is so massive. It means that Peter Strzok and Lisa Page literally corrupted the FISA court. The FISA court that signed off on warrants to surveil President Donald Trump's campaign team. Peter Strzok and Lisa Page were behind the whole thing, using and manipulating the FISA court judge, Rudy Contreras. You know what that means? It means that if we actually have law and order in this country, if we actually have laws in this country, if we actually have people who care about law and order, it means that Peter Strzok and Lisa Page have so corrupted our democratic process, have so corrupted our republic, that every single investigation carried out by the FBI and the DOJ is suspect now based on this paid-off criminal conspiracy that was going on. And clearly, this whole Russia collusion case, which the vast majority of America doesn't even believe anymore, but the media and the Democrats just have to keep it going because they doubled down on it. You know what's funny is that Hillary Clinton and John Podesta were the ones who created the whole Russia hoax during the election. It was never going to happen. It was never going to, I mean, obviously all of this was going to be exposed. Peter Strzok and Lisa Page were going to be exposed. Robert Mueller was going to be exposed. But they don't care how anything looks. They don't care how it looks. All they care about is, technically, can we get this done? Based on our criminal conspirators in the federal government, can we still get this done? Can we get an impeachment? The entire American public realizes now that there is a vast federal government conspiracy to take down President Donald Trump, led by John Brennan and his associate, Peter Strzok, and his lover, Lisa Page. If we still care about our democracy, if we still care about our republic, if we still care about our Constitution, then we will stand up to this tyranny. We will stand up to this law breaking. And we will say that Peter Strzok and Lisa Page should be prosecuted. Now, Lisa Page has been singing like a canary behind closed doors. So maybe Lisa Page doesn't need to be prosecuted. I would be fine with granting immunity to Lisa Page. But Peter Strzok and John Brennan, these people have broken so many laws. And this needs to be adjudicated in the federal courts. And I think it will, because President Donald Trump and his lawyer Rudy Giuliani are very savvy people, and they are doing everything they can to make sure that this criminality gets exposed and this criminality gets prosecuted. We're going to keep you updated on everything that happens with this case. Please keep following BigLeaguePolitics.com. I'm Patrick Howley. Thank you for watching.